A live look now near the collapse site on I-85. We are hours away from what could be a manic Monday for thousands of drivers in a test of traffic.
Plus, a teen couple at the center of a SWAT standoff. A 17-year-old girl and her boyfriend are the prime suspects in a heinous crime against her grandparents in this house.
Plus, more Delta delays. Wait until you hear how much the Atlanta-based airline paid a woman to bump her off a flight.
CBS 46 News at 11 starts now.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Dunstan.
And I'm Kim Passoff. Tomorrow morning may be a day like any other in Atlanta history as repairs continue for the collapsed portion of I-85.
Monday's also going to be the day tens of thousands of students and school employees return to class from spring break for the first time since that collapse. This is sure to complicate the commute. CBS 46's Astrid Martinez joining us live tonight. She's speaking with concerned parents getting ready for the week. Astrid.
And Mike, we had a little bit of a break from the heavy traffic because of spring break last week. But come Monday, guys, this is definitely going to impact our roads. And it's all because of this, the I-85 collapse. But parents that I spoke with say that they're very concerned. It's a huge concern, the traffic flow once kids are back in school. Like most people, Bella Bridges doesn't look forward to Monday mornings.
No.
She never liked to go to school in Monday morning. Monday mornings are always rough for her.
Come this Monday, getting to school for Bella could prove to be even nastier for months to come.
Yeah, I think it was crazy.
2 weeks ago, a fire caused a portion of I-85 to collapse, shutting down a heavily trafficked route through the heart of the city and near Bella's home.
We have traffic first thing in the morning. Outside our window is like a parking lot. We have people cutting through the neighborhood, trying to avoid traffic.
For the past 2 weeks, Travis Bridges has dealt with bumper-to-bumper traffic on nearby streets as drivers are forced to take a detour. Crews are making progress at the collapse site, but with spring break over Monday, GDOT says they're expecting a 20% increase in the number of cars on the road. The department says that will lead to a 30% longer commute time.
I'm so nervous about how many more cars there will be on the road.
A concern Atlanta Public Schools is addressing. APS will open their doors 15 minutes early to help parents dropping off their children. The district is also creating a temporary bus compound at North Atlanta High School. This will allow buses to park closer to the north side neighborhoods.
It's something that as citizens we have to kind of deal with. So instead of complaining about it, we just kind of have to adjust.
A big adjustment many hope will end soon. And APS also tells me that they're going to be stocking their impacted buses with bottled water just in case their drivers and students also get stuck in traffic for a long amount of time. Now, expected repair date for this is June 15th, so we have about 10 weeks that we're going to be dealing with this. For now, we're live in Atlanta. Astrid Martinez, CBS 46 News.
Astrid, thank you. Now an in-depth look at GDOT's traffic plan for tomorrow. The agency will have 12 signal engineers out in the field coordinating traffic signals to help with the traffic flow. And they're going to monitor traffic from GDOT headquarters 24 hours a day. Hero motorist assistance units are going to be out in force. Here's meteorologist Ella Dorsey with what we're tracking weather-wise for tomorrow's commute. Ella?
It does look like the weather is not going to be a factor in tomorrow's commute or in the commute pretty much all week this week. That is the good news. We're in for very, very calm weather. 66 degrees. It's still very mild outside. A southerly breeze coming in at about 8 miles per hour. It is going to be much more mild tonight than the last few nights. Temperatures will remain in the upper 40s to low 50s, whereas the last few nights we've been in the low 40s. So the light jacket's all you're going to need when you walk out the door tomorrow, and we're in for a very warm afternoon. We hit 77 degrees today. We're probably going to be right at or below 80 through the day tomorrow with still a ton of sunshine, but that sun will give way to more clouds and some light rain chances. So stay tuned. I'm going to go through when we could actually see some rain coming up here after the break. Mike.
Ella, thank you so much. Tune in tomorrow morning. Amanda Davis, Bobby Capel, and the entire CBS 46 morning team will have you covered. They have everything from the best alternate routes, current traffic, and the latest on the rebuilding of I-85. Live team coverage starts right here at 4:30 a.m.
Now to a developing story, a gruesome discovery in Gwinnett County. Grandparents are dead, and their 17-year-old granddaughter is one of the main suspects. CBS 46's Kai Beach has details on the investigation and the 3 different crime scenes that are involved.
I've been in contact with police this entire day, and they say that they do know Cassandra. They describe her as a habitual runaway. As for Ryder, well, they're still looking into his criminal background. But they say they were able to track these 2 down after a report last night about Ryder attacking his sister and her boyfriend with a baseball bat.
An elderly couple allegedly beaten to death, and the people being investigated for killing them, their own granddaughter and her boyfriend.
It is possible. It's all under investigation.
Gwinnett County Police say they found Wendy and Randall Bjors dead inside their Lawrenceville house Saturday night. Sunday morning, police arrested the couple's granddaughter, 17-year-old Cassandra Bjors, and her 19-year-old boyfriend, Johnny Ryder, in connection with the killings.
It said Furlong Run, and I said, wait a minute, that's our block.
This man lives in the neighborhood where the homicides happened, but police say this investigation started off on Rambling Woods Drive. That's where Ryder allegedly assaulted his sister and her boyfriend with a baseball bat.
When officers went to the scene, they located the vehicle belonging to the deceased Wendy and Randall, who were the grandparents of Cassandra.
Police then went to check on the grandparents and found them dead inside their house. Police were then able to track down Bjors and Ryder at the Swanee Apartments, where they had a brief standoff with the SWAT team.
Looked like they were giving them a lot of warnings. Then we just heard a pop. Then we just saw a lot of SWAT run in.
Once inside, police found Bjors and Ryder with self-inflicted wounds. They were taken into custody and later to the hospital.
Police say those self-inflicted wounds were most likely cuttings. As for Bjors and Ryder, right now they're not being charged with these killings, but they are being investigated for them. In Lawrenceville, Kai Beach, CBS 46 News.
Tonight, Atlanta-based Delta Airlines trying to get back on track after last week's thunderstorms wreaked havoc on flight schedules. Today, the airline had to scrub about 150 more flights, but Delta canceled more than 3,200 flights through Saturday after the strong storm stranded passengers during one of the busiest travel weeks of the year. Tonight by phone, I talked with a woman Delta gave some major money for her trouble. We're talking $11,000. Hours after the storms moved out of Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, people were still camping out on the ground of the second-floor atrium, victims of the old domino effect of delays.
We were going to visit my husband's parents in Aventura, so it's right next to Fort Lauderdale.
Laura Begley Bloom knows how they felt. She was delayed, too, traveling Delta from New York to Florida with her husband and 4-year-old.
The flight kept getting delayed, and so we just there was a lovely woman at the desk, and we just kind of kept, begging her, and finally she got a manager to sign off, and they signed off on the, the gift cards.
The family left the airport hoping to fly out the next day.
And then it was kind of a repeat on Saturday. We got to the airport, the flights were delayed, and, we were joking around saying, and they were already asking for volunteers, and I checked in that morning, and so we said, hey, if they give us more money, let's do it again. And, pretty much the exact same thing happened.
Can you guesstimate you walked away with how much money?
We walked away with $11,000 total.
And as much as Laura and her family feel happy to get all that money, she also feels happy to help the people who really needed to get out to their destinations.
There were so many people at the airport who were, people who were heading to weddings, like people who were going to funerals, people who were going to see their dying parents, and, who had real reasons to go. And, of course, if we had a reason to go, we wanted to see our family, but it wasn't, a life or death situation.
Laura Begley Bloom is also a Forbes.com contributor. She actually wrote about what happened for the magazine, and we're putting a link on CBS46.com. She's also going to be a guest on CBS This Morning tomorrow, right after CBS 46 Morning News. Kim?
We are just days away now from the special election in District 6, the race to fill Republican Tom Price's congressional seat. Price was tapped by President Trump as Secretary of Health and Human Services. Now his congressional seat that's been a Republican stronghold for decades threatens to go to a Democrat. Republicans hoping to keep that from happening made their pleas tonight. District 6 voters from parts of Cobb, Fulton, and DeKalb County spent their evening in Alpharetta.
A normal citizen decided to run for office. I'll tell you what, our internal numbers are really good.
Candidate Kurt Wilson greeted them with his campaign bus and barbecue.
We got 9 days to close this thing, and I think we're gonna surprise a lot of people.
Okay, thank you for coming this afternoon.
5 candidates showed up for the Republican debate, but there are 18 names on the ballot in the crowded race. This is one of the first congressional races since President Trump took office, and the nation is watching and getting involved. Democrat Jon Ossoff has Hollywood endorsements and has raised a staggering $8.3 million, 4 times that of anyone else in the race.
I wrote the law dealing with pre-existing conditions because you can solve that.
Former Georgia Senator Judson Hill says he has a proven track record of conservative values and says he's the best choice to face a Democrat in the likely event of a runoff.
It's important, I believe, to see the contrast, see the difference, because if we send the wrong person, I believe, into the final 2, we could be vulnerable.
And if no candidate receives at least 50% of the vote, the top 2 candidates will advance to a runoff. Early voting is underway right now. The special election is April 18th, and if there is a runoff, that will be on June 20th. And we have a list of early voting locations for the race on CBS46.com. Just click on web links. Well, it has been 3 years now since a young veteran vanished out of Cobb County.
His case now getting the attention of a celebrity crime expert.
Something about it strikes a chord in me, and I want to work on it.
Chase Massner's family wants to know what happened to him, and so does TV show host Nancy Grace. We sit down exclusively with her to talk about his disappearance.
And after a really roller coaster-like week in the weather last week, are we in for more severe weather this week? I'll let you know when we could see some storms after the break.
It was one of the more exciting finishes in recent memory at the Masters. The 2-man showdown is coming up on Sports Sunday.